Do you need encouragement to turn tragedies into your own triumphant life story? If so, this podcast is for you. Listen to powerful guests who have persevered through challenges so you can gain strength to build your championship life. The host of Professor of Perseverance podcast, Dr. James Purdue.
Hey, come on in. It's that time for us to do what? It's time for us to find something we can grab a hold of and get motivated, inspired, get some inspiration, find some hope and encouragement. That way we know when something happens in life, whatever struggle, whatever tragedy, we can get through it. When we can see the light at the end of the tunnel and we know it's not a train coming, we know we've made it. And that way we can live a successful, happy, better than what we would think life. Today, our guest. All right, now we're getting into my topics now. When I get to talk to people about sports, and we're gonna get into this one. All right, a softball star athlete, went to Troy University. She played and started in, first 2 years of her college, and then had a little tragic accident. And just reading up on her a while ago, realized that she had her accident right down the road from where I live here outside of Nashville, Tennessee. When she was in Nashville, she got hurt. So let's don't go any further here with me. Let's get her in here and get her side of the story and find out what's going on. So welcome to the show, Tara Blackwell.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No. Thank you for coming in with your valuable time and sharing your journey and story, and going to help others in the near future.
Absolutely.
So, all right, Tara. So you were this softball player. All right. I was a baseball player, and I got my neck broke playing a pickup game of football. But I was a baseball player, and so you're a softball player, and you were in between double hitters between Belmont and Lipscomb here in Nashville, and you girls are doing what, and what happened?
We were doing backflips. We were finishing up with practice and just kind of goofing around, and I looked over and they were gathered over on the side and just acting like cheerleaders. And I had a history with cheerleading and gymnastics, but I also just like to entertain the team. So, of course, I joined in, and I was actually doing a type of flip where I was stepping into someone else's hands and flipping backwards. And we were just sort of out of sync, and I mislanded and instantly became paralyzed.
Now, you say instantly, because I can ask this question. Does instantly mean instantly? Or was it a gradual loss?
It was very instant. I knew, I had never really thought about the word paralysis or what that might mean or what that might feel like, for that matter. But when it happened, it was like I knew. I definitely knew.
Yeah. And hey, Nancy, thank you for coming in. And this is Tara Blackwell. We're talking about her spinal cord injury. And so, all right, now, when you say instant, with me experience of mine, it was, you knew you was paralyzed as soon as it happened.
Absolutely.
So, did you hear with me, I heard a loud pop in my neck when I got hit.
I don't recall that. What I recall the most is when I landed, of course, I was flipping backwards, so my head hit before anything else. And then my legs followed, but I didn't feel my legs follow. It almost felt like I was stuck in the same position as I was when my head hit the ground. Just, the nerves. It was just a very strange feeling.
Yeah.
But that's what I recall.
Okay. Did you lose any consciousness, or were you awake?
No,
for the whole
I didn't.
time?
I was awake and conscious. I was kind of fading a little bit once the ambulance got there. Just I don't know if I was in shock or if I was losing consciousness, but I don't really recall those last few minutes or being put on the actual ambulance, but I
Hmm.
remember most of it leading up to that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, oh shoot, what was it? Well, we'll come back whatever it is. So,
Okay.
all right. So what's your oh, oh shoot, I almost had it again. But what was your first thought when you read? Oh, okay. Here's what I was going to ask. Um, how many times or did you even try to get up? I mean,
Oh,
you
I
said your
did. I
legs
did.
felt like they were in a different position. You didn't realize
Hmm.
they flipped or whatever. Did you try to get up, or you just go, something just ain't right here?
I remember, my athletic trainer, whenever I hit the ground and realized something was really wrong, they immediately responded. And I feel like I did try to, lift my head because I was, of course, laying face down. So I remember trying to lift my head, and my hands, my fingers were still moving a little bit at the time. So it was just sort of a reaction to when I sit up.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the old. They say three's a charm. I tried 3 times to get up, and finally the third one, I said, "This ain't happening." My I was actually when I fell, I landed on my back, and
Exactly.
so then I lift my head up, and nothing followed.
Oh yeah.
Shoulders didn't follow, like you said, arms, legs, nothing followed. But yeah, I did the old thing. Three's a charm. All right,
Yeah.
three wasn't no charm that day. So
Yep.
um,
That's
now,
right.
so what was the initiative first thought going through your head with this? You
I
realize that
know that
something's
I
not
I
right.
remember apologizing. Yeah. I remember apologizing to my coach, of course, because I knew that I was acting irresponsibly by doing backflips at softball practice. um,
Hmm.
and I remember saying, somebody else is going to have to play second tomorrow, because you don't know. You don't know what the future looks like. And all I was concerned about was, how my team was going to pull through the next day. And um, so I think that was my very first thought.
Yeah. So now, what was your thinking when you heard they confirmed that you were paralyzed? And so, what
Um,
was your? Did you think that paralyzed mean paralyzed forever? Paralyzed means, hey, next week things will get better, or
It's really hard to say. I don't remember looking too far into the future. I remember being very focused on what was going to happen, you know, today and in the present time. I do recall whenever I was in the hospital, especially at Shepherd, a lot of people would come in to visit or mentor or, um, just peer support, offer peer support, who were in wheelchairs. And I remember thinking, well, why are they coming to see me? That's not going to be my life,
mm-hmm.
and I remember being a little bit taken back by that. And of course, I had a lot of hopes and dreams about getting better, but I really didn't know what that future would look like.
Yes, and like for me, I'm I think a lot of athletes has that invincibility.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
know I may get hurt, but I'll get up and play the best I can as soon as I can. And so I would
Absolutely.
think that you would use that invincibility towards getting better the best you can.
Of
Hey, now
course.
when you
Of
talking about
course.
these mentors coming in as shepherds, I read a story up, and I'm trying to get this guy on my show. He won't answer my emails. I'm gonna have to do something about this. But the wrestler Lex Luger, did he ever
Okay.
pop in to see you?
I
Because
don't
I know
really
he was at
recall.
Shepherds, and yeah, I know he was going back and forth and mentoring, visiting for a while.
Okay. I don't really recall. It's been 16 years now. Well, going on 17 years.
Yeah,
Um, and it's
and I don't
really hard
remember
to recall all
exactly.
the.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what year he got hurt. You may not even been there when he may have been
Yeah.
later. I don't know. So Sam, hey, thank you for here. But this is what is she doing now? Oh, about helping others. Hey Sam, we're going to get to that here in a minute there. Good question. And so all right, so now you said you're about a week and a half in Nashville and at Vanderbilt. and you went down to Shepherds. So how long were you in the Shepherds?
So I was at Vanderbilt for about a week and a half, and then I was flown over to Shepherd Center, where I did occupational and physical therapy for 2 months inpatient and then 1 month outpatient.
Okay. Bird Baggett, thank you for coming in. He's already researched you, Tara. He says he's read up on the 7 project and says what an inspiration. So he's already researched you. So
Awesome.
all right.
Thank
So
you. Thank
now how long Shepherds you get out and you decide to go back to school?
Yep. So I came home in July of 2005. And by December, I had moved back to Troy and lived with actually the athletic trainer that essentially saved my life, offered me a room in her home.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually, found a caregiving agency near Troy, and I moved in with my athletic
That saves a little bit on
and had
the tuition, huh? Not
full-time
living on campus.
care while I went to school and traveled with the softball team. And then I continued. You cut out just a little bit. Are you
Yeah,
there?
yeah. I lost you for a second there. So you're back.
Okay, sorry about that.
No,
I'm back.
something's okay. And so yeah, you were going in and out. So we got the part there where you moved in with your trainer and
Yep,
starting back at Troy University.
yep,
And so yeah, I made a comment about hey, that'd save some tuition fee, not living on campus. And
that's right.
so all right, and all right, yeah, and you said something about getting a caregiving agency down in that area to help take care of you.
Mhm.
Okay. Now,
Yep.
so this is a big question right here now, and it's not going against Troy University or anything, but um, Indiana coach hey Bird, who was the Indiana coach? Sam, Indiana Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight, he had a basketball player that was in a car accident and he was paralyzed. And even though he could not play basketball any longer for the Indiana anymore, he continued giving the scholarship so this guy would
Yes.
graduate for him to continue
Yep.
on, even though it was taking a spot off the team. I mean, there's a lot to say about Bobby Knight, but
Oh, absolutely.
I've got to say I respect him that he
Troy,
continued giving
I
that.
will tell you, yeah. Troy took care of me until I graduated.
Good deal, good deal. That's awesome to hear that they stepped
Yeah.
up to do that.
Oh,
So
they were incredible. Yeah.
did you go to a lot of the softball games and become
I did.
the unofficial cheerleader?
I sure did. I got to travel with them and I followed them all around. I got to watch them play. We went on and won um, our conference championship that year.
Oh,
So it was really
congratulations!
yeah, yeah.
So um, now how long were you after your injury? Did you graduate considering be on time?
Oh no, no. At first, of course, my primary focus was physical
Living,
therapy,
yeah,
living,
living,
figuring out how to
yeah.
live and,
Mm-hmm.
navigate as a quadriplegic. And so I decided to actually, after I finished those classes that I was taking whenever I got hurt, I went back home and began online classes so that I could kind of do it on my time, which actually worked out really well because I was able to, learn how to work a computer and do all of that. But I didn't have to actually take somebody with me to school. I was able to do it, independently, which I really, appreciated. So I kind of took my time. I didn't graduate for probably 11 years later.
I would think that, and I'm just guessing, that would be fairly new that they would offer you to take online classes. I don't know
Hmm.
how ready that was back in
Yeah,
2005.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It was a challenge, but it was very rewarding. Of course, again, I could do it
yeah,
independently, but it was, definitely a lot of discipline in that. So
Yes. So a lot of discipline for you for, again, with everything you have on top of you, trying to live again, trying to learn your new body, the way what's
Yep.
acting, the way it's not acting. I mean, people don't understand. It's not that you're paralyzing your legs, your waist, limited paralyzes, and your fingers, arms, and everything, but it's other things. Your bowel program, urine,
Catheter. Yeah.
yeah,
Everything.
catheter
Yeah.
peeing program I can think of, but yeah,
Hmm.
bowel and bladder, and stuff
Hmm.
like that, and then realizing, the muscle spasms, how they're going to treat you,
Yep.
um, and then you get that hyperdysreflexia is what we used to call it. I think it's something else
Hmm.
now. People got a new name for it, but it's where your body temperature doesn't regulate correctly, and then you get
Yep.
all these spasms because your body's trying to tell you you need to settle down and
Something's
sleep
wrong.
and do
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So yeah. So that's a lot. That's a lot to have to go through, as well as taking your classes. So
Yep.
all right, say after my injury, it only took me 8 years to get my 2-year associate's degree. That's all it
Hey,
took
that's
me.
that's about the same track I was on. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But you did
So
it.
that's right. We did it and then got through it. All right, now so let's move on. Let's move on. Have anything else you want to bring up at this point here? You're the uh, you're the team motivator.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm here for all of you. So anything you got for me, I'm good.
So did they make it an award after you? The Tara
They did.
Blackwell Motivation Award or something like that?
They did. They did. And they ended up retiring my jersey.
Uh-huh.
So that was really cool. I get to hang that, in my gym. But yeah, they, like I said, Troy was, they were there for me all the time. They would, anytime they traveled anywhere near the hospital, they would bring the whole team up to my hospital room, and they were there to cheer me on in therapy. And we did phone calls all the time. And then, like I said, I got to go, back and be with them soon after my accident, which was extremely rewarding.
Mm-hmm. All right, now so graduation. Would you major in?
Criminal justice and sociology.
There you go. And so that's a good combination with what you're doing now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
um, how long did it take you to come up with your project 7 project?
So my injury was 2005, and in 2013, I went to go visit a facility down in Orlando, called, well, at the time it was Project Walk. Um, and after being
I've heard of
there,
that. Yes, is that still
yeah,
going? It's still going on, isn't it?
it is, but they changed over. Now the um, founders are actually, they've changed over to the nonprofit called Next Step. So it's
Okay.
Next Step Orlando. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But after being there and seeing a sort of different approach to therapy, they are a recovery center. They are spinal cord specific, um, or, neurology. It's, it was just a different sort of vibe per se. It was a different sort of approach, and it felt much more like home for me. I was able to get on, weight benches, and, do things like I would do before. And it was just rewarding in a different way, but also, allowing me to increase my strength and mobility and health. So, I remember going to bed one night, laying there thinking, how could I make this happen in my community?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sam, this is
so
your question.
yeah, that's right. So, I started kind of just brainstorming. It was like, what would I do if I wanted to do something similar? What would my approach be? What would my gym look like? And one thing that I wanted was to make it very generalized to people with all sorts of physical disabilities. I wanted it to be inclusive to anyone going through any sort of challenge in their life, whether they, were born with their disability, or if they had a traumatic injury, such as what we've had.
Mm-hmm.
So, just all these brainstorming ideas. And then I had, a couple of friends come visit during that trip, and we were sitting down having a glass of wine one night, and, they're like, what would you call it? And the 7 project came up. And So what I did is I took a list of, I think it was probably like 100 different values,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of like narrowed, checked one off one by one, and narrowed it down to 7, because 7 was my collegiate softball number. Um, and came up with, what I felt like was a formula of values that would help someone create a healthy lifestyle and a better quality of life for themselves. So that's where the 7 project came from. And then, it was sort of a dream at that time. There was no plan, there was no um, funding per se. It was sort of just oh, this would be really cool if I could do
Mm-hmm.
this. And then a few years later, my dad passed away, and I received an inheritance. And it was kind of that kickstart that, it was like, what am I going to do with this? First of all, I've never had this much money before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was like, okay, how can I, you know, pay this forward, and live my dream of helping other people.
Mm-hmm.
So that was where the, beginning of the 7 project was. Um, and then of course, since then we've, relied on our community.
Good deal. Yeah, a lot of I wouldn't. I don't have don't have statistics or anything, but a lot of things start off as a dream, and just
Absolutely.
does this dream per se into something realistic
Right.
from there. Yeah. So um, now, what's I'm put you on the spot. I hope you know this top of your head. What's the
It's okay.
7 that you picked out of the 100 values or whatnot?
Commitment, determination, faith, fortitude, support, vitality, and wellness.
Man, I was hoping
You
7 would
didn't
be
think I had that,
perseverance.
did you?
Well, I thought you going. I was hoping you'd have perseverance since we're
I
talking
know,
about it.
I know.
Oh man! All right, I
But
was hoping that was going
it's
to
kind of
fall
all
in there.
inclusive, right?
I hear you. So no, so that's good. So you pulled 7 out because of your number and the old lucky 7 and the Bible.
Yep.
Supposedly 7 is the Bible's number and everything with all the 7s and all right. So
Yep.
that's how you come up with that. So can we do a 7 plus 1? That way I put perseverance in there. So,
That's just a given.
there you go. All right, there we go. All right, all right. So you get this gym going, get it started, and everything like that, and how do you get it advertised out to people to let them know that they're welcome here? I mean, because I'm sure there's a lot of people. One, there's never been a gym here in your city like this,
Right.
okay? And then so they're used to being at home doing any little workout they can do on their own. So
Yeah.
how did you get your marketing, get it out to the people, and then how long did it
So
take for one to come in to 1,000 people there at one time?
so I think that I was very fortunate in that in my local community, my story was well known, and I have a decent group of friends, number of friends on Facebook, and other social medias. And I think that presence alone, allowed people to really, understand my story and see, what exercise and, was doing for my life. And I think that, they realized that I had a quality of life because of the work that I was putting into that. And I think that, a lot of people have followed my journey along the way. So when it was kind of time to get, this going, I started putting little things out there and just saying, like, this is my idea. This is what, I would like to do in our community. I have a lot of people, when someone's injured in my community, a lot of people will reach out to me and say, hey, you need to touch base with these people. They could really use your support. And so fortunately, I've been able to be a part of a really tight knit disabled community here in Pensacola, and even outside of Pensacola. So I think that was probably the biggest benefit when getting this started, is people were already kind of following that.
Yep. And Nancy, you are correct. Nancy lives down the road from me here. We're outside of Nashville and Gallatin, and she said needs to be a gym like that here for the disabled people here in Gallatin. You're right
That's
about that,
right.
Nancy.
I'd
You're
have
right.
one everywhere. Maybe I will one day.
Now we don't have a gym per se at the moment. I have thought about something like that for years. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a dream because I hadn't really focused on doing, but I have thought about something like that. But we just a year ago, almost a year ago, opened up our first, or say first, the Miracle Park. And for
Yep.
30 years, 30 years ago, I went to our parks director. Something's got to be done for people that can play baseball, for these kids that are in wheelchairs and whatnot. And it only took
Yep.
30 years of me whining and crying and bitching to him. And he finally had an epiphany and got it going. And we, at this point, have the largest miracle field in all of Tennessee, where we
That's
live in
amazing.
Gallatin. It's got a pedal park for them to play. It also has the playground itself and the field. So our
That's
parks
awesome.
director and mayor and our city council, all of them, they did a good job. So I'm proud of
So
them.
we have a Miracle League park here as well. And we've actually talked about doing some sort of community event where we can kind of bring awareness to, our local organizations that serve those living with disabilities, but make it a little bit more inclusive than it already is. So I think that that's going to be a really big thing for us in the future once we can get that going.
Yeah, that's where I first heard about Miracle Park and Miracle Field. It was in Orlando. I was there
Yeah.
in 2012, maybe, I think, and I was there in Orlando getting my first service dog,
Okay.
Ricardo. He's still in the back. He's sleeping on the couch. He's on it right now. And but
Oh,
that's so getting Ricardo, and it was called Canine Companions for Independence in Orlando is where I
cool.
got him. And so when you mentioned Orlando a minute ago, yeah, and that's where I first heard about Miracle Field, and I got all the pamphlets and whatever I can get and brought it back to Gallatin. And then yeah, everything fell in part after that. So, but we just finally,
Awesome.
just a year ago, finally got that opened up. So, um,
Cool.
all right, Tara. Now, what? So how many people do you think, on an average, comes in to use? Are you open up 5 days a week, 6 days a week? Um,
So so we're almost strictly on a personal training basis.
hmm
We find that most of our clients are looking for that one-on-one work and, one-on-one experience. And we have a lot of clients with special needs. So our trainers, are trained to assist them in whatever those needs might be for their workouts. So
hmm
I would say probably on average, about 30 personal training clients at a time.
A day, 30 a day, basically, or 30 a week.
Well, I would say probably a week. I mean, they're on, different kind of
Yeah, everybody's
packages,
on different
monthly
schedules. Yeah.
packages. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
say about, at a given time.
Yeah. And is this insurance pays for any of this for them to come, or it comes out of the clients?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. It comes out of the clients, but we do have multiple scholarship options.
Yeah.
We, as an organization, give out a $2,500 scholarship each year, and we have a partnership with the Rehab Foundation of Northwest Florida, and they give 4-month packages to 4 different clients every 4
Awesome.
months. So up to
Oh,
16
that's
people
awesome.
get a
Yeah.
scholarship where they have 4 months covered. So that's huge.
That is, yeah, that is very huge. So it's awesome that they're
Yeah.
involved with you. So, all right, now,
Yeah,
didn't something
definitely.
happen? I was trying to read and I couldn't find. It took me a while to find the date, but didn't something happen in 2018?
You mean the
Yeah,
pageant?
I mean with you turning in your dirty softball uniform to a beautiful, I don't know what color dress or everything. I didn't see the picture of that, but yes, the beauty pageant. You were Miss Wheelchair of Florida first, I guess, and then you got to compete
Yes.
for Miss Wheelchair USA. And did
Yes.
you win?
I did not win. I actually got 3rd runner up.
All right, okay.
Yep, yep,
So,
yep. So, yeah, they contacted me and they said, "Hey, I think you have a really powerful platform." And, it was kind of like one of those things. I'm like, "Is this a joke?" You know?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing a pageant, but then it was like, if it's something that, um, I can share my message with others, and maybe help create this gym, that I'm hoping to create. It all kind of fell, into place at the same time as my dad passing away. So it was like,
Yeah.
what better time than now to start, spreading the message. So
There you go. Yeah.
I took a chance, went on to Ohio, um, served as Miss Wheelchair Florida USA, and competed with 12 other amazing women who I'm still friends with to this day. And everybody had a really special um, platform and special message. So it was awesome. It was very rewarding, even though it was very different for me.
Talking about getting out of your comfort zone, right?
Exactly.
You should have, instead of going into a dress and everything, you should have gone in with dirty pants and softball or
I
something
should have.
to
Maybe I would have
be
won.
you and different.
That's a great point. I should have thought about that a long time ago.
Oh, I wish I'd have met you 20 years, well, not 20 years, just 4 years ago, and then could have gave you that idea. So,
That's right.
so, all right. So, well, congratulations, third place on that.
Thank you.
Third out of 12 that
Well, it was
competed.
fourth because I was third runner up. So yeah, fourth out of 12. Yep.
Okay, so fourth out of 12. Okay, so
Yep.
with still, and of course, you're number one in Florida. We're number
That's
one,
right.
and so you still have the number one. So,
That's
all right,
right.
awesome. So doing through now. Let's get into the next topic here. Well, I don't know how much time. We got a few more minutes.
All
Big
right.
topic here for spinal cord injuries. I know there's people out there that don't believe this or have a hard time believing it or don't want to believe it. All right. Dating scene. Who's the special man in your life? And sorry, it's not your dad any longer. Okay. I'm sorry for that. But who's
Thank
the
you.
special man? Or do you have a special man?
I have a
Had
I have a
one, broke
very
up one, anything? What's going on in the dating life or relationship life?
I have a very special partner at home who um, definitely sees, well past my wheelchair and takes fantastic care of me, and our home. And so, the whole dating thing, the whole relationship thing, I think can be, I think we all, you know, create our own limits for ourselves. I
Hmm.
think it's important to remember, who you are on the inside, most importantly, and, um, let that kind of shine through. And I think people will see you for who you are, when respect and love yourself first and foremost.
No, I wasn't thinking that this at the moment when I said it, but I don't want to think that I don't know, being ignorant myself. When I say special man, if you're got a special woman, I just to
Yes,
me these times change, and I just don't
that's okay.
understand some things, and I don't ask. So not just any of my
That's
business
okay.
if it's a woman or man, but yeah, special person. What I should have said.
Yes,
So
regardless.
yes. So all right, and so I don't know anything else with the dating scene. Then you got the special one, and there again, you need to feel real blessed that you got someone with you, special this way in a relationship with this way, because you know as well as there's a lot of people with disabilities that don't get that opportunity, and so
Absolutely. I think
so
that it's
you need to
important to,
really feel blessed in that area.
absolutely. I sure
So
do. I do. It's a wonderful feeling to have that, person in your life and that companionship. And I think it's important for everybody. And I think that, it takes a lot for a lot of people to get out there and meet people or, interact or, not kind of, um, like I said, limit yourself. There's no
uh-huh.
reason why someone isn't meant to love you, regardless.
Yeah. So, Sam, to come back with another question, was there any movement in your arms or hands?
I have movement in my arms, but not in my hands.
So Sam, he's an old baseball coach of me. He coached me back when I was 13 to 15. And yeah, she's about
Awesome.
like me. So
Yep.
saying
Yep.
she's about like me. Got the arm, got the deltoids working, biceps working, very little to none on triceps and the wrist and fingers.
That's exactly
So,
right.
and now what injury would you be considered? I read where you had fractures in the vertebrae 1, 5, and 6.
Yes.
So
Yes. So I'm
what would
actually
they
considered C5.
C5? And I'm a
Yeah. The first
C5, 6.
vertebrae actually. Yeah, the first vertebrae actually, it was a blowout fracture, and
Mm-hmm.
it broke away from my spinal cord, which
Oh
essentially
wow.
saved my life. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, incomplete, complete injury.
Incomplete.
Incomplete. All right. For the ones that don't
Yep.
know, if you're considered complete injury, that means the spinal cord has been cut and no attachment, no nerves attached, and no hope for anything of return.
Right.
If you're an incomplete, then there are nerves still attached, whether all of them are, half of them, and so there's possibility stuff could happen. All right, Tara,
Exactly.
I think we've done about all we can here. I just wanted to see, is
All
there
right.
anything else um, from the Seven Project and anything else discuss?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Is this the time where I can leave you with a
This is
message?
well. This time we're going to let you push your website. I'm sure you take donations. Maybe some people want to
Absolutely.
donate to your organization, to your Seven Project. Maybe help other people.
Absolutely.
So here's your time for your website and any social media. And we froze up. To the important part here, we froze up. We'll give her time to pop back on. So, but Tara's been a good one. Tara, I don't know if you can hear me or not. You might have to refresh your browser, possibly. So, but this has been a good story. Listen to her talk about her injuries. Here, really, I didn't realize till right before I got on reading some stuff from. She got hurt actually here in Nashville. Spent a week and a half at Vanderbilt and went down to Shepherd's in Atlanta. Sam knows about Atlanta and Shepherd's. So, all right. So now they popped off. So hopefully she's going to pop back on here. That we lost connection. So hopefully she'll come back on since we're here. But hearing about her talking about her Seven project and helping other people with disabilities be able to work out and stay fit as much as possible. And she's still looking for a connection, spinning in circles. So, well, Sam, I appreciate you coming on, and Nancy, and also Bird. Thank you for coming in. And Bird, with his helping me with being an ambassador of his new program, we're going to discuss Bird being on next week. And Bird, if you're still on, was it the million? I forgot what the million project that you're doing. I forgot what it is. If you're still on, if you type it on for me, Bird. And they're still spinning. So hopefully we'll get there. Here, up there you are. She's back now. All right. Hey, I did a good.
Sorry,
I
I
did.
don't know what's
That's all right. We
going
did a decent job
on.
winging it. No, it's okay. We're wrapping it up, so we get through in the next minute and a half. We'll be in great shape. So, all right, Tara. All right, Tara. I see her moving, so she's on there.
Can you hear me?
I heard you then. Yes. So yeah, if you're going to tell your
Are you
website
there?
and social media, she's froze up again.
I'm here.
Uh,
I just
you just keep talking. Maybe we can catch the audio.
for the Seven project. is www.the7proj.com. So that's
But she's off for good. So I'm gonna hang in here for a minute. Y'all don't need to if you don't want to. I'm gonna hang in for a minute or two, see if she comes back. She's logging back in, hopefully, and then I'll catch the last part of it. And so, but Sam, Nancy, and Bird, thank you for coming in. And so I'm gonna give her another minute to see if she'll pop back on. And because I can always do what's called magic of editing to get the rest of it up. So we'll just give her time to come back. This might be it though. She may not make it back. But I can find her links and everything to put into the show notes from there. All right. Well, Sam, appreciate you coming. I don't think I'm hanging in much longer. And Nancy, Tara just messaged me. Let me go to Facebook. Yeah, hang on for a second. She says, what did she say? Okay. She's just typing in the link in for me to use. All right, so I guess we're going to end it here. And so I see 4 people, 5 people, 6 people's on. And so I appreciate everybody coming in. Be sure to share us out with someone you know that can use some hope. They don't have to be spinal cord injuries. Tara, I'll get back with you and thank you again for being here. And we'll get the links on everything. I'll finish this up. Sam, Nancy, Bird, thank you again. Everyone else, do something today, tomorrow, something next week that's going to help you persevere past your paralysis.